Welcome back to the 888 Poker Weber Cup. Both players are perfect through the opening frame, but there's still a long way to go.
Well, I think I remember saying last year, Tommy's probably got another 300 in. Well, he didn't actually get the 300 last year, but he did score a 299, which is only 1 pin short against Mika Koivuniemi. Had a quiet time on the American Tour this year, but won a big tournament in Japan and picked up loads of money. There's the American Appreciation Society.
I'm trying to suggest a possible 3-2 scoreline at the end of this one in favour of the Reds. We will see. We will see. But a very good start for Tommy Jones. And Williams just making sure everything's right before he picks the ball up. See, that for me, that defines an elite player. You know, you don't get troubled by these things. You don't rush into something when you're not ready to bowl. You just wait for it all to be right.
Very true, Simon. Yeah, the problem with Stuart here is he's got to play catch up every shot now, and catch up very nicely. 2 strikes apiece. But whatever Tommy does, Stu Williams has got to do.
It's a long way left, but watch him control the pace on this ball. He really is reining himself in here.
Perfect shot then at about 45 feet. Carries the 5 pin straight out and all 10. The man with not the greatest follow through. People have said that he keeps his eyes low and doesn't follow through. Releases that ball at his feet, but the arm doesn't come through. But certainly does get a reaction. And Tommy Jones is just taken a re-rack of the pins, which he's allowed to do. He's obviously seen that something maybe just a little bit off spot. He's not happy with the perfect triangle of pins. Just going to take his time and slow the game down a little bit as well.
Yeah, with regard to Williams' style, it's great that there are still sports out there where you can develop your own style and still get the same result. And I wonder how many people have commented on his lack of follow-through and how many of those people making the comments have a PBA title to their name.
I was just going to say that Stuart does admit to playing green bowls, which is a game played in the north of England. And yeah, they released the ball quite early there. Go TJ. 3 strikes in a row. Well, it was worth taking a re-rack, wasn't it? The pins have stood up in the right place. He's put the ball in the 1-3 pocket and carried all 10.
Well, Cass, I admit I was wrong to call for a 300 for Tommy Jones at the start of this game, because I think there's going to be 2.
Well, that's what the score caption shows for maximums at this particular time.
Nice bit of symmetry about the scoreboard at the moment.
Yeah, sort of kind of final, isn't it?
Williams then to try and match TJ. Sticks with that same line, put a little bit more behind that delivery, and that was consequently more convincing, and I think maybe that shoulder is just loosening up now.
Yeah, he's looking very good actually. He gets a lot of rotation from the hand onto this ball. It's in a perfect position. Comes off well, hits perfect in the pocket and carries all 10. 3 strikes in a row apiece, and so consequently it's going to be a 7-frame shootout between these two. And how about that for a bit of reaction?
Told you he wasn't shy.
Well, he's settling in very quickly, isn't he? It's been 7 years since he's been on this lane, and it doesn't seem as though he's been away.
Couple of turkeys then.
Well, you can call them what you like, but they're professional bowlers in my eyes.
So TJ looking to keep this run of strikes going. Working those 3 strikes. They call it a turkey in 10-pin bowling if you were unaware of that. And again, great pocket shot. That got what it deserved.
Tommy Jones did ask a couple of years ago if he could take this lane home with him to practice on, but it doesn't look as though he certainly didn't take it home, but he doesn't really need to. He's just settled straight in, hasn't he?
I wonder if he's thinking it, Cass. Even he's thinking it.
I was just going to say, I wonder if he's wondering.
Well, let's see if Williams can keep this excitement alive. This would make 8 strikes between the two of them. And 8 strikes it is.
We could probably go away for a couple of minutes and then come back and see what the score is like then. Both players perfect through 4. Stu Williams ranked number 2 on the European ranking tour so far this year, behind Don Barrett. So they're best of buddies and they're numbers 1 and 2 on the European tour. So yeah, he's having a great season.
Comes the chalk bag or the resin bag, just trying to make sure that there's no moisture on the hand or around the grips. And also using the air blower in the ball return to dry the hand off. And takes his time over the thumb going into the ball, so he's a thumb first, fingers second man.
Which actually is very unusual, Simon. Most players are fingers first, thumb after, but TJ, you can't argue with it.
Oh, you definitely can't argue with him. And he's starting to talk a bit now as well.
He does get animated on the lanes. He starts to settle down, enjoys it. He knows what he's doing. This is enjoying. He's hit 5 strikes in a row. Why will things change? Well, we don't know. He doesn't want to change. He just wants to stay in that pocket. Getting locked, loaded. And Stuart Williams is on the end of it, but at the moment he's holding his own at 300 apiece.
Williams with a slightly more reserved style of the two. Dumps it down and dumps all 10 down. Beautifully done.
That's 10 strikes in a row between these two players, and it just goes to show, on a lane condition that is conducive to both their styles, they've got locked in straight away with the mental game. Everything else comes naturally, and they're just blasting that pocket and ripping all 10 out every time.
Jones, just a little bit of professionalism here from him. He's really taking his time before the next delivery, and he's going to leave Stuart sitting there, and Stuart just kind of looking around as if to say what's going on here. And
he knows exactly what Tommy Jones is doing. He's slow bowling him, keeping Williams back in the chair, because once you get on a strike line you want to get up there and get the next one, get up there and get the next one. And I think Jones might be in for a time penalty here if he goes any longer.
Well, he's running out of things to dust, dab, dry off, poke, prod.
He could just take a re-rack now, couldn't he?
I think Williams would be out of his chair if he did. Jones then working those 5 strikes.
Whoops.
Oh, no. And he maybe has slow bowled himself out of this one. I told you he wouldn't get 300 caps.
Oh, Simon, stop that. You could actually see as that ball came off his hand, it was just a fraction wide, wasn't it, down the lane? Just watch this. Off the hand, just a bit more speed, and it doesn't quite get back. And that 6-pin will not hit that 10-pin.
He was in the groove. I mean, what was he doing? He was in the groove. Just get up and get onto the lane and bowl.
Okay, now the most important thing is, once the 300 game's gone, is to secure this point for USA. The problem is, though, that Stu Williams is still facing a possible maximum if he can strike again. Jones takes the spare. His maximum drops to 279.
Well, it kept Stuart Williams in his chair a lot longer, but not in the way that he wanted. Williams had a golden opportunity here, and Chris Barnes, the American captain in the middle there of the 3 red-shirted players, certainly knows that Williams has an opportunity.
But you see the difference in the score from 300 down to 279. A single pin spare with all those strikes around it, and you lose 21 pins on that one shot. Williams for 10.
Beautifully done. What a way to keep yourself focused. And Tommy Jones straight over. He's the first man to low 5 him on that strike.
You said in interview, Simon, that Stuart seemed a little bit nervous. Well, I'm sure those nerves have gone, and he's just into the groove now, bowling as he has done around the world this year. One of the top players, getting great results, and boy, does he deserve it and does he enjoy it.
Now then, has to try and keep it together. This is where, when you're not bowling, you've got to go into your own world. A lot of players will look at the floor, have nothing to do with their opponent, but Stuart's not like that. He does like a little look around and a chat. That's very good. That's a very good response from Tommy Jones, but from his point of view the damage has already been done and he's already shown Williams a possible route to a point here.
Yes, Williams was sitting down, just minding himself, but he is a very strong mental player as well. There's the deep breath. Gathers himself. It's a quick look at the pins to make sure they're all there, obviously. And now goes into the mental mode, and it's just robotic from here on.
Yeah, well, that 7-pin just a little sluggish. And they always say, on your way to the maximum, you're going to need a bit of luck. Maybe this was it. It wasn't a bad ball by any means.
It's just a tad inside his mark. It's a tad high on the head pin. Gets the action in the back end, gets that 7-pin out. And that is 7 strikes in a row. And boy, is Stuart and the rest of the European guys enjoying themselves.
Stuart Williams still at 300 pace, but Tommy Jones isn't too far behind. How will this one finish? Find out after the break when World Cup 13 returns.